Welcome to a spark of awareness. We live in a time where we are constantly being stimulated, prompted by systems, by algorithms, by AI. But when we outsource our answers, we slowly give away our authority, our inner voice, our self-mastery. Conscious leadership has no shortcut, no hack, and it can only begin from within. It is the courage to stop escaping and to sit with what's alive and present inside, even when it's very uncomfortable. But that's where growth is. And this podcast is a space for that. This podcast is an evolution. And every week, I will share a 15-minute human prompt, live, non-performative. It is a moment of reflection drawn from my work in conscious leadership, from the journeys of the leaders I coach and accompany, and from what is moving in a collective film of what is humanity and leadership. I am Sophie, a conscious leadership coach and guide of transformation. I support leaders who are crossing the threshold right now from the old system of leadership, a legacy, into a deeper, more conscious way of being. If the traditional model no longer resonates, know that you are not alone, and that is your weekly practice. This is your time with your inner world. This is your weekly spark of awareness. Welcome. So welcome to a new episode of Spark of Awareness. And today, I want to touch on the topic of energy. Energy as the fuel of your business, the fuel of your life, as the new currency. I say the new currency here because a lot of times we think the main valuable currency is money in the world. But I've seen so many cases where people have a lot of money, fundraising, having a company with millions, and still not executing something, still not moving, still not feeling this fire of life. So yeah, money can help, but it does not replace energy. And time, people think it's the second most important currency. And to an extent, I would say yes. But I've also seen many people who have a lot of time and do nothing. They don't move, they overthink, they ruminate. And so what's missing there? It's energy. And I'm not seeing it in a non-grounded way, energy like floating and the things that you can't see floating in the world. I'm talking about this kind of energy that you feel in the presence of someone. You meet someone and then you feel, wow, they have such a high energy. They have such a beautiful energy. It's that kind of energy that creates trust, that creates a feeling of warmth, excitement, inspiration. It's energy. Of course, we read all the cues about how the person looks, the body language. It's all energy. So in this episode, I want to introduce why it's important to, while you have maybe time, money, but you have zero energy, you're not going to go very far. And unfortunately, these days in my coaching, the main challenge or problem we work on with my clients is energy. They are not moving, they're frozen. And that's where we work. So if you followed the previous episode, I was talking about the fourth self-sabotage, an empty cup, leading from an empty cup. So yes, when you have an empty cup, you're not going to do very much. And so I'm going to touch on today what are the ways to lift your energy and how to work with your energy. This is a much bigger topic that I won't be able to address in a 15-minute episode. And for that, we will need to work together to really understand on a deep cellular level the concept of it. But I want to share the principles of it today so you can at least start some work. So, energy. Every day you wake up, you start with a cup of energy or an empty cup of energy. So you can ask yourself, how do you wake up in the morning? What is the level of energy? What makes you get out of bed? And I know many people told me as well, I don't have the energy to get out of bed. The work that I'm doing is not getting me out of bed. Okay. Or I had a terrible night sleep, a lot of nervousness, thinking about work, dreaming about work. I feel depleted when I wake up. So that's already just from the point you wake up and you don't have energy. How can you move on the day if you don't have energy? So first, look at everything you are doing as your day starts. How can you change your routine the day before you go to bed? Maybe you should go to bed early. Maybe you should not spend time on the screen or working at late times. I have also blue light glasses that I use every night after 8. So to not be on screens and start to really prepare my night. This is you taking care of your engine. Your body is your fuel, your engine. So as you start the day, what is the first thing you do? Are you going straight to open your emails, check your messages, and get already lost in your thoughts and forget about all your routines? And if so, you're not taking care of yourself. So, what is the routine that should be a non negotiable ritual every day for you to be high on energy, start the day? I know we have different circadian rhythms, all of that, whether you believe in it or not. But one thing you can do is to lift your energy at best to start the day, whatever you need to do. Do you need to sit down, have your breakfast in silence? Do you need to eat? Do you need to work out? Do you need to meditate? Do you need to read something that energizes you? My routine is non-negotiable every morning. Luckily now I'm working as an independent, and that's why I wanted to have my own business. I wanted to own my time and how I manage my energy on a daily basis. Nothing is disrupting my routine. That might change in the future, of course, with family responsibility. I'm all ready for that. But right now, as I have a bit more flexibility, the morning, and it's not a huge routine, it's 30 minutes, but it's in my calendar and it reminds me as a nudge every day that's what I should do to start the day well. Because otherwise, if I fall out of those habits, things will start to go wrong and collapse. So, what I'm doing in the morning, first thing is I turn a playlist. I have a playlist called Morning Light. So that's my light of the morning. I have a beautiful kitchen with a window giving over to a park. If you watch sometimes my video, you see like the park. Right now it's full of slush after the snow. Not pretty, but it's full of light on my face. So I'm getting light at least. I put my playlist on and I start to sing my favorite songs. I start the day, I prepare my tea. So I have a whole ritual. I prepared my little concoction of lemon and coconut oil. And yeah, breakfast. I also spend time with my cat Leo. We have a moment of connection. I sing and I do a bit of dance movement because I have some songs that make me move. And so I start to have movements. Could be workout, but these days more dance that makes me feel alive and start the day. I have sitting, some meditation, 5 minutes to ground, regulate the breath, be in awareness, and only then I start the day officially and work and start to produce things like I'm doing right now, the podcast. It's past 10 and I didn't do anything too ambitious this morning before 10. But I had a whole life to take care first of my cup. So how can you take care of your cup as you start the day? And what are the other dimensions you can think about? Energy. Energy is not about only what you do, it's about what you exchange and interact with others. Have you ever noticed when you go to events or you meet an acquaintance or a friend, after you met them, do you check in? How do you feel after meeting them? In some cases, you might feel very energized and you feel inspired and you feel like, wow, ready to shake the world. This is amazing feeling. So it was a great encounter. It was a great time with that person. You both were probably in a good place and growing maybe ideas, energies, and so on. So that's good. I know myself, I have had many situations after meeting a person, nothing personal. I don't know, there was a vibe. I just felt drained. I just felt drained after the meeting. Maybe that person was taking all the space to share their lives and so on and speaking very fast. So I had to follow. I felt like a full fast train in dopamine for 60 minutes. It was exhausting. And before I used to think, discard it and find, oh, whatever. And now I'm observing it. Is this the kind of meeting and interaction that is helpful for me? What did I get out of this conversation? Did we move anywhere? Are we building, co-creating something? Or did we share something meaningful? Or it was just here listening to a person ranting for 1 hour? And when I recognize that, I don't have to correct the person or say anything. I just decide for myself, I will reduce the interactions. And from reducing the interactions, either they autocorrect next time we meet because we meet less often, then we regulate and we meet at the same level that is not draining for one of us, or we just stop meeting and then this connection dies very naturally. How do you put energy into spaces with others? And what is the energy you get back and you bring home with you? And how do you plan, or how do you incorporate this in your day in a strategic way? So it comes down to, who do you work with? Who are your close partners? Who do you talk to during the day? When do you talk to them? So maybe you have difficult conversation with relatives, family. Should you be having them during the day? Probably not, if they're a bit triggering. Maybe at the end of the week. So you can start to set boundaries for yourself on how to protect your energy and when to receive. You're probably trying to grow your business, maybe grow your work, grow your team, find energy to continue to create and to launch all your initiatives. If you want to do that without having to rely on stimulants, for example, a lot of caffeine, maybe drugs, I'll name it because I've seen it. That's how people go. It has a cost in the long term. Or other stimulants that keep you energized until you crash. I really ask you to take a pause and restructure your day, your week, your time around what nurtures your energy, because that's your main currency, to produce something, to produce money, and to produce more time free for you, actually, so you have more energy and you continue to follow your mission, to fulfill your mission and create the impact I'm sure that you care of creating right now. And let me share at last for this episode today why my business is founded mostly on my energy. The people who choose to work with me, who buy from me, who trust me, it's consistency, discipline, which requires a lot of energy and clarity, the warmth, the presence I bring in the room. When I convert the most clients without doing too much, actually, I just need to be in a place, I show up, I don't need to talk about my work and oversell, I am my work. People feel, oh, okay, Sophie, she seems to be a person that is very calm, regulated. I feel calm around her. I trust her. I want to work with her. That's energy. And it's all the invisible work I'm doing every day for the past years consistently that allows me to show up this way. So for some, it may look easy, but it's so much work. But it makes the whole difference because you don't have to hustle and run around like a crazy person, which I was doing in my first year of business. But you understand movement and you understand who are your aligned clients and partners and what to focus on, that one thing. But it moves all the thousand things around you, your system. And I'm telling you again, it's energy. So this is my hack for today. And I'll share more in the future episodes, some resources. Really break down your day and break down many things that you do to see, are they energizing you or are they draining you? And what should you change so you have a bit more energy today than yesterday? All right. So that's it for today. And as usual, let's get into a grounding short meditation. Let's ground here the energy and integrate what I shared today. So inviting you to close your eyes, and I'm going to slow down my voice. And start to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And continue to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. I am going to invite you for this meditation to feel the energy in your body. So, where do you feel movement right now in your body? Observe everything. Do you feel sensations in your body? Maybe some activation in the heart, some activation in lower belly, in the shoulder. Where do you feel some movement? Stay in the body, not in your thoughts. And keep breathing at a normal pace. And observe your body and the movement slowing down, regulating. How does it feel in the body? And a few more breathing together. So keep inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And let's do a last deep breathing together. So deep inhale through the nose. And hold it. And sip in more. And a little more. And hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release everything through the mouth. And relax your whole body. And you can start to make some movements, slow, soft movements in your body. Just feel the energy moving, the waves. Maybe you feel a little wavy. You want to move your hips. You want to dance a little bit, maybe. And as you ground, you can reopen your eyes. And I'm thanking you very much for following this creative meditation for today. And I'll see you next week. Good luck with your energy work. Thank you for tuning in into this weekly reflection, the weekly spark of awareness. After this episode, I invite you to take a few moments with yourself, even just 15 minutes, to sit with what resonated, to breathe, and to notice what is shifting inside. This is a practice, a discipline of presence, truth, and self-connection. If this work speaks to you, I accompany leaders in one-on-one journeys and group experiences of transformation, supporting them as they cross the threshold into a truer and freer way of leading and living. If you feel called to explore this path, I would love to hear your story, and let's connect. Sending you love and courage, and have a great week ahead. This is my spark of awareness.